What stands out to me, though, is that the American people sent a message, one that they've sent for several elections now. They expect the people they elect to work as hard as they do. They expect us to focus on their ambitions and not ours. They want us to get the job done.
Ask any intelligent American what group of people is the most dysfunctional and least likely to make any common sense in a given day. Then tell them they cannot cite anyone appearing on any reality show, nor can they mention the ruling family from Game of Thrones. Best bet is they'll spit out the United States Congress. However, there may be hope yet to salvage that reputation. Take it from one who knows the inner workings inside and out. It's a pleasure to welcome to Midpoint a judge for the United States Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia Circuit, former New York State Senator, and author of the book Saving Congress from Itself, Emancipating the States and Empowering Their People. James Buckley joins us on the show today. Mr. Buckley, thank you so much for being here.
Well, thank you for this opportunity.
It's a wonderful opportunity to talk about Congress at a moment when Americans are looking at themselves and wondering, first of all, how did it get so bad? What was it that empowered members of Congress to become so stunningly dysfunctional?
Well, first of all, we need to face that there are some terribly important issues on which there's very little middle ground. To cite an obvious example, of course, is abortion. Either the child in the womb is entitled to protection or it isn't. But the United States seems to be on a path to where you have a choice between having the federal government take over and dictate every area
Woman, whatever, we're looking, we're checking them out. We believe we're sending the right ones who always tell us exactly what we want to hear. We're here for you. We're going to serve you. And then usually within maybe a day or two, or the first time they actually get a chance to exercise that power, we realize again that we've been snookered. So then how do we then, the American public, the voter, keep from being constantly hoodwinked and saving Congress ourselves through the vote?
Well, if people are looking at the perspective of the last 6 years, we have a problem that has its origins with Senator Reid, who was in charge of Congress as the majority leader in those years. He refused to take up any of the legislation that came up from the House of Representatives, and therefore there was no occasion for the Senate to come up with its version, and then the two sides negotiate out the differences. So if you looked at the performance of the House of Representatives over the past 4 years, they have been trying to do what their people who elected them asked them to do, but they ran into a stone wall in the Senate. I hope that the years immediately beginning now, with both houses in the same hands, that we are once again going to see progress. And I might point out that the new majority leader, a Republican McConnell, has declared that he will give the Democrats every opportunity to offer amendments, to engage in debates, and so on, rights that were denied Republicans in the last 6 years.
Senator, what about those who say that we have to compromise? I know you started off by saying that we're always looking at one side or the other, but there are those who say we cannot move forward as a country until we learn Republican, Democrat to compromise. Others, and this is the Tea Party side, say absolutely not. The only way is to stop and only do it our way. Which one's the right way to help save Congress?
Well, I think in most areas there are middle grounds, and people can negotiate them out. Tax levels, for example, elements in the if Congress ever gets to focus on immigration. There are any number of areas within that subject matter where you can move one direction or the other a few degrees. But there are certain issues where there is no room of that kind, such as the proposition the federal government will take over health care in the United States, or the health government, or the government will honor the ability of individuals to find their own doctors and cut their own deals.
I have about 90 seconds left, so let me focus on the title of your book, Saving Congress from Itself. What is, in your opinion, the first logical, must-be-done step for us to emancipate the states and empower their people and save Congress?
And that is to eliminate the 1,100 programs in which the federal government offers subsidies to the states to deal with problems that are the exclusive business of the states. The effect of these programs they now spend 1 out of every 6 federal dollars, absorb a major portion of congressional time, and have removed the decision-making over local and state problems from the elected officials in those states and communities and moved them to bureaucrats in Washington.
Do you see anybody who is now in power who has the wherewithal, the power, the spine
have these critical decisions moved to Washington instead of having them handled where they can supervise what is happening?
at the state level? We remind everybody again, the book is called Saving Congress from Itself, Emancipating the States and Empowering Their People. It is just another form of education that everybody needs in order to get themselves better aware of what exactly is happening. Senator James Buckley, we thank you so much for your time, sir.
Oh, thank you.
Take care. Other side of the break, markets may be closed for the holiday. Doesn't mean the financial world shuts down. Bulls and Bears coming up next right here on Midpoint.